Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stroke Management and Prevention. This is the third and last installment of the discussion. Let's call on Ma'am Trix Guevara, who will do the honors of
Yes.
helping us out. Okay, Ma'am Trix, can you tell us the severity of hemorrhagic stroke as contrasted to the severity of ischemic stroke? So for as a review, I think we have already we are already familiar with hemorrhagic stroke and ischemic stroke, no? And of course, no one would like to have hemorrhagic stroke because that could be sudden. However, we need to know what happens if one was able to survive hemorrhagic stroke or uh, ischemic stroke. Ma-
So hemorrhagic strokes are generally considered more severe and often deadlier than ischemic strokes, despite ischemic strokes being more common. This is because hemorrhagic strokes involve bleeding in the brain, which can cause significant pressure and damage to brain tissue.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the bad side. But the good news is, um, if you survive a hemorrhagic stroke, you have a greater chance for recovering your function than those who
Mm.
suffer ischemic stroke. So, okay, so that is if you survive, no? For ischemic stroke kasi it takes time and a lot of um, expenses.
I
Okay?
have a friend. I have a friend who still um ano pa rin siya, in treatment.
Ischemic.
Yes, may nag-bleed yung brain niya.
Mhm. Kasi ano, yeah. That's hemorrhagic,
The
nag-bleed ang
hemorrhagic.
brain. Oo. So, has she recovered? He?
Not yet. It's been more than 6 months na.
Ay, okay. So, it says here that survivors of hemorrhagic stroke, they have greater chance for recovering function if you survive. So it's either you survive or you end up ano,
Like
vegetable.
vegetable.
Sad, no?
Yes.
So towards the end of our discussion, these are only 50 points, we shall learn how not to have a stroke. No? Okay, specific risk factors for early recurrence. Of course, if you just recovered from stroke, you wouldn't really want to go back, no, to have another stroke. But chances are, if you went back to your old lifestyle, you still weren't able to deal with your emotions, and you did not um, submit yourself to good treatments by good practitioners, then there is always the possibility for early recurrence. So, what are the risk factors?
The risk factors include a history of previous stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, and certain types of heart disease. Lifestyle factors such as smoking and obesity also contribute to the risk of early recurrent stroke.
Yeah, a lot of people think kasi, I can drink alcohol again, I recovered na. That's actually not a good idea. Try drinking
Yes.
alcohol daw, no? You will notice
Mm.
talaga pulse mo, very pulsating, very bounding. So those with valvular heart disease, they should be extra careful because they can have early recurrence. Ibig sabihin, mabilis bumalik. Malay mo, after a week, balik na ulit. Of course, you need to control your sugar. Okay, so if you're diabetic, there's always the risk for early recurrence and hemorrhagic or embolic stroke. No? Ano pa, evidence, if you're old na, so like
Mm.
70, 80, yes, chances for early recurrence. Kaya, as much as possible, try not to look old, di ba? Evidence, yeah, you should try to help other people, no? Just don't think of yourself. Life will be easy, believe me. Evidence of blocked
True.
arteries. Yeah, talking about easy life. Don't go for material things anymore. You cannot bring them to to your
Yes.
grave. No. And try to be more forgiving and just understand people who are not as broad-minded as you. Maybe they're not that gifted, no? So yung ganon,
Mhm.
why stress, no? Especially if you just came from a failed relationship, just forgive,
Yes.
move on and look for a
Mhm.
new one. Okay, and also evidence of blocked arteries. Di ba we learned na all we have to do is look at the sublingual veins, di ba?
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
hope everyone here was able to see what's this? The amazing transformation sa tongue ni Ma'am Trix. Actually, I saved it talaga, no? So nobody can really tell what will happen tomorrow, no? Or in the next week, ganun. So you
Mhm.
brush your teeth every day, and then if you see, okay, I need to needle this pala, yung ganun. So you see history of coronary artery disease. So this is basically having an obstruction, no? Mayroon kang barado dyan sa coronary arteries mo. Because we all know that the coronary artery is the one that supplies the heart. Peripheral
Mhm.
artery disease, no? Yung sa labas na, no? Especially if, have you seen those people whose feet are discolored na? So look at your
Yes.
feet. So, it may be asymptomatic, but if you compare the 2 feet, iba yung kulay ng isa, no?
Mhm.
Okay, it's not too
Mas
big.
darker yung isa.
Yeah. And also ischemic stroke or TIA. So pag darker yung isa, ibig sabihin baka tumaas yung cholesterol or may emotions. Basta it's simply an imbalance in the circulation. So there is always a possibility na magka-stroke tayo. Scary, no? Okay.
Yes.
Next, there is a mnemonic called B-FAST. So what is this B-FAST method? Let's start with letter B.
B is for balance.
Yeah.
If the person is stumbling or if they're walking straight in line or if they can stand up.
Okay.
And then E is for eyes. If they're having any troubles with their vision or
Mm,
if they can see with both eyes or seeing double or blurred vision.
mm.
F is for face. Is one side of the person's face drooping or a person's smile is a little
Tinignan ko
well.
bigla yung aking mukha. Natakot.
A is
Okay, the
for
arms.
arms.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the arms is if the person can put up their arms in a T pose or one arm drifting downwards or not as high as the other.
Yeah.
S is for speech. If the person's speech is slurred, limited, or completely incomprehensible. And T is
Yes.
for time to
Mm.
call 911.
Yes. May 911 tayo, di ba? Mm.
Yes. I think it's different here. Iba
Yeah.
yung number, yeah.
Pwede naman din siguro. Yeah. Additional symptoms that don't fit in the fast description is sudden confusion. Biglang you're wondering why you are there, like you don't even know what's happening. Difficulty understanding what a person is. Okay? So yun. And you suddenly forgot the name of the person you're talking to. That's the worst thing that could happen. So, what do you think is the solution here? Join us, no? Help more people.
Yes.
Actually, very intriguing nga eh. But I will not mention the name. There was one who teaches, wag na lang. Ayoko na. Na-stroke siya. Okay, wag na. Kasi baka they're also watching. Sorry.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to also look at other causes, no? It's not just about,
Mm.
so like when you're so pagod and, plus may emotional ano pa, no?
Mm.
Well, so can you describe true windstroke? What happens in true windstroke? Bakit may true? Bakit mayroong wind-like stroke?
True windstroke is a wind invasion that plays a role in pathogenesis.
Yes. So kaya especially now, it's so mainit, no? You can also have a stroke when it's too cold, no? Because your blood will stop, ano, 'di ba? Galaw-galaw din. So yun. Okay. Number 5, what is wind-like stroke?
Wind-like stroke is pathogenesis of internal organ, disharmony generating internal wind.
Yes. Um, all everything that's happening internally will turn into heat. And when that heat turns into fire, fire can become wind, no? And take note, let's face it, we love damp food. We love to think a lot. We love watching TV for long hours, diba? So wind and dampness, they are very close to each other. So your chances of getting a stroke is super ano talaga. Kaya galaw-galaw.
Highly likely.
I'm sure Ma'am Betty here. Ma'am Betty, di ba meron kayong friend? Si Ma'am Betty ba to? Share naman tayo para di tayo nagmamadali. I know Ma'am Betty has a friend, CA din. She had to take care of her mom ba yun? Nauna pa siya sa mom niya. Di ba Ma'am Betty?
Mhm.
Nawala na si Ma'am Betty. Baka mamimiss naman niya. Oo. Kaya ano,
Nandito.
kilala niyo Ma'am Betty, no? Naalala ko tuloy, nagbibigay ng ano yun. Na-miss ko tuloy yung mga pinagbibigay niya ng mga Chinese delicacy. Kaya natakot ako. Ito ba yung pinagkakain mo, madam? Masyado namang dam. Diyos ko. Pero kinain ko din. No? Diba? Yeah, binibigay din siya ng mga tea. Oo. Meron siyang candy. Di ba, ma'am? Oo. Yan. So, so ganun talaga, no? So, dapat hindi tayo mag-dump. Kanina nga, I was thinking, bilhin ko kaya itong ano, kasi masarap yung parang pastry. Mas inisip ko tuloy, naku, topic ko pala stroke. Tapos kakaiya pag ngumiwi na lang yung bunganga mo. Uminom na lang ako ng kape. Okay. Without sugar.
No sugar.
Yeah, so iniiwan ko kaagad yung ano, para tipid, diba? No sugar, no cream. Cream is, ang ano natin ngayon is,
That
ano non-dairy ba yan? Ano?
non-dairy.
Yeah, and it's, parang hindi siya cream.
Mm-mm.
And also yung mga mahilig sa margarine, yung mga ano, may nakita ko tinapay na pinahira na ano.
Butter.
Sabi ko, I don't think it's butter. Ano ba tawag doon? Yung tinapay na ano, saka white bread. Anyway, practically everything we eat na talaga today can give us kuan na, no? Imbalances. Okay, let's talk
Okay.
about wind stroke etiology and pathogenesis. The first one, sige, I'll take care of this po. The
Okay.
first one is unconsolidated channels with invasion of exterior wind. Ay, nakamask si Sir Joe Bell. Bumalik na rin yung pandemic siya. Diyos ko, that brings back memories. Okay, so if you have a very deficient or very weak immune system, you cannot actually fight off the pathogenic factor, right? So,
Yes.
paano natin nalalaman meron tayong deficiency? Pulsuhan mo sarili mo. And then tingnan mo yung dila mo. Okay, ganun pala yun. So, if you are very deficient, if you are, let's pin na natin, very spleen and kidney deficient, so you will definitely welcome the pathogenic factor with open arms. And then may stroke ka. Okay? So, hindi siya consolidated yung channels. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang firewall, no? Exterior wind, no? May also trigger pre-existing hidden phlegm in the body. Why? Wind and phlegm, they are attracted to each other. They really, really go together. They're really in. Kaya,
So,
yeah. So, ay naku, wag na tayong magplastikan. I think all of us have, especially for those who have masses, no, those who have ano ba to, mga numbness, yung mga ganon. So, pag na-expose ka sa exterior wind, so this can trigger the hidden phlegm in the body. Kaya sasabihin ni phlegm, wow, friend, let's have fun together. So dapat hindi ka masyadong or tanggalin mo yung phlegm mo, no? And take note, it takes a lot of time to get rid of the phlegm. So, kaya yung iba nagkaka-cancer, no? So together, wind and phlegm will obstruct the channels, so you will have a stroke, wind stroke. This is the reason why some people will present with facial paralysis, sensory or motor impairment, without loss of consciousness, no? So don't be too complacent. Ito yung, I'm sure you've heard of Bell's palsy. Hindi ka naman mawawalan ng malay niya, no? Mm. Yeah. So yon. Another etiology and pathogenesis would be diet, no, improper diet. We all know that if we abuse ourselves with kain na lang ka kahit kailan, no? So this will affect your spleen to TNT, transform and transport. When that happens, you will generate phlegm. And so, syempre, we also go out, no? And what if meron ka ng liver blood deficiency, meron kang liver fire, parati kang galit na galit. So, di ba, nagka-transform into wind yun. And then plus, yung diet mo. Kaya yun, stroke, no? So this will cloud or block the heart orifice and obstruct the flow of qi and blood in the channels, okay? Corresponding manifestations, loss of consciousness or hemiplegia and aphasia. So, yeah, so you will have loss of consciousness here. So that's something that, medyo expensive. Now, another is the emotional stress. So first one is external wind invasion. Second is ano ba yun? Yeah, the diet. Now, emotional stress. Excessive emotional stimulation will affect the liver and heart, wood and fire. Totoo po yan. So,
yes.
pag yung emotional stress mo super intense, of course, your liver will be impacted, no? So, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng liver yang rising or liver fire. Very hyperactive liver yang, mag-generate ng liver wind. Kaya, yun, manage naman ang stress, no? Kaya bawal na magalit, ha, Madam Betty. Pero si Madam Betty, ang sipag-sipag.
True.
Heart fire. Okay. Pag meron ka ring heart fire, paano natin malaman may heart fire? Meron kang ano, 'di ba, sa dulo ng dila, pulang-pula. May mga basta
Red spot.
yeah, red spots. So pwede umakyat, this can flare upwards. They mutually aggravate each other. Ma-aggravate si liver, ma-aggravate si heart. So heart fire and liver wind, qi and blood will rush upwards to the brain. And when that happens, most likely you can have hemorrhagic stroke. Okay. Another one is, aging. Ouch. So if we're old na, we are candidates. Kaya saan ba yun? Parang kanina lang yata. Nang laki talaga yung mata nung binigay ko yung aking discount card. Sabi ko, why madam? Hindi siya makapaniwala. Okay. Well, I took that as a compliment, no? So chronic illness Yeah. Chronic illness kasi, nauubos yung chi mo. No?
Mm.
Aging din, nauubos yung essence mo. Kaya, pag walang essence, wala ka ring yin, wala kang chi. Okay. Constitutional deficiency. So, this is something that you just inherit. You inherit it and there's nothing you can do about it. But yung lifestyle mo, masyado pang hindi maganda, no? Excessive exertion.
Yeah.
Pinipilit mo pa rin, nag-e-effort ka pa rin, hindi mo na kaya, no? So, you will have liver and kidney deficiency below with excess above. So, definitely, yung tongue mo and pulse will not sync with each other. Chi and blood rebel upwards, okay? Following the hyperactive liver yang. Siyempre, pag hyperactive yung liver yang mo, aakyat si chi and blood, no? Phlegm drafted upwards to obstruct the flow. And this is the worst thing. It's the phlegm that will obstruct. Napansin nyo, have you uh, taken care of someone in the hospital? Talagang I think almost all of them may plemas, no? And then I would remember this because I was an intern once. Kakainis,
Mm.
kasi kami magkukuha-kuha nung mga that it's always 3 in the morning, yung sarap pa ng tulog ko, no? Inaano mo yan, pinasuction mo. Practically all patients. No?
Oh.
What pa if grabe pa yung lungs niya before? Okay, so much for that. So I hope you remember that, no? Now let's go to poor prognosis. What are the indications? Like, yeah, so if this happened, you already know na kailangan mo nang i-prepare yung memorial plan. Okay? And the last will. Madam Tricks.
There's persistent alterations in consciousness and cognition, hiccups, contraction and rigidity, hematemesis, and hemaphasia.
Yes, very good. Um, so take note of this. Kung yung hiccup involves the brainstem already. Kung araw-araw ka ng hiccup, medyo iba na yan. No? And also, rigidity, contraction of the four extremities, no? Hematemesis, blood in your vomit, no? You vomit blood in the stools, hematochezia or hemaphasia. Next, now let's go to gua sha naman. Maraming tayong gua sha mabibili, so I feel na this is very important, especially if you don't want to become a burden to your family. Pwede mo namang gawin sa sarili mo to. So
Yeah.
sha from the gua sha will disappear within how many hours?
24 to 36 hours.
Very good. The petechiae and ecchymosis will resolve in how many days?
2 to 4 days.
Yeah,
Usually.
so if you plan to see the patient twice a week, you have to schedule it in such a way na nawawala na yung petechiae. So kung andun pa din, wag mo nang igwa siya, no? Scraping time ng gua sha per
Um,
area.
3 to 5 minutes.
Yes. Wag yun isang oras ka na nag-wash. Okay, caution of gua with people taking what medications?
Vitamin E, NSAIDs, fish oils, and anticoagulants.
No, tingnan nyo, pati fish oil, hindi maganda, no? Ah, pag medyo, hindi, maganda naman fish oil, kaya lang, you
Well,
need to be extra cautious when you do gua sha. Okay, what about yung mga nagkikimo at paano yung timing? When do you do gua sha?
um, 48 hours before or 24 hours after.
O, di ba? Oh, so maganda, di ba? 48 hours before, 24 hours after the chemo. Okay, gua sha, how do we clean the gua sha tools?
With soap and water and low to intermediate disinfection.
Very good. Okay. Um, how much area, how much length should we do gua sha? Nakita ko sa ibang ginagwa sha, parang ang haba-haba naman, mukhang more than 1 foot na. Okay, gaano ba kahaba lang?
4 to 6 inches.
Yes, 4 to 6 inches. Remember that, everyone. How many strokes to be able to raise the Shah?
6 to 15 strokes.
So kung 6 strokes, lumabas na, wag mo na i-stroke.
Yes.
Okay? Kung 15, wala pa rin lumalab, iiwanan mo na. 6 to 15 strokes. How many times do we have to stroke the head?
30 until the scalp feels heat.
Okay. So, di ba maganda din yan as preventive? You know, try doing gua sha, especially for those.
Maganda ito sa scalp yung gua sha. Kasi meron akong parang thinning, yung may area na thinning. Ano siya, tumubo na siya.
Talaga?
Yes. Kasi
Scalp mo?
na-stimulate yung ano.
Ay, wow, congrats. Oo nga, no.
Oo.
Gawin ko kaya yan.
Yes. You just have to be consistent lang. And may makikita ka talagang hairs na
Talagang,
tumutubo.
talagang
Yes.
ano, no, na-schedule mo talaga, yung tuloy-tuloy.
Mm-hmm.
Ay, happy ako. Pero hindi ko pa yung gua sha ko kasi ang haba, yung ano, yung silver ba yan?
Ah,
Pwede na siguro
sa
yun.
akin yung ano, yung crystal. Pero nabasag eh, I have to buy one.
Ayan. Okay.
Pero pwede yun, as long as you're stimulating the scalp.
Okay. So, how is the sequence for gua sha on the back? So, we're actually, ano ha, kasi I believe that gua sha, parang masyado lang natin ini-small. And some are doing gua sha improperly. So, why not learn
Mm.
it the right way, no? Okay, for gua sha on the back, Ma'am Tri.
The back. It has to be down and out.
Okay, just like this. You see that? Down, out, out, down. Yan lang, down lang siya talaga. What about gua sha on the neck?
Down except for hairline. It's
Okay,
up.
yeah, which is up. Kaya you have it here. Oh. Pag nasa hairline na, up na yan siya. Next, ventral body. The ventral surface.
Follow the body contour.
Oh, di ba? Ang ganda, no? Lumiliit din yung chan mo. Nagkaroon ka pa ng abs. Charing. Oh, ganyan yung body contour. Dispersing. Okay? Next, foods to avoid with painful gua sha. So, mayroong iba.
Sour and cold.
Yes. Because ito po yung flavor ng liver, yung sour. It aggravates kasi the nerves. So,
Oh.
if the patient tells you, ay, sakit ng gua sha, avoid ka muna ng mga maasim at saka malalamig. Okay. So, if the patient asks you, what is the gua sha used for?
Um, it's used for releasing the exterior. It moves the chi and blood and disseminates the fluid.
Easy, no? Yan lang. Okay? Kasi pag pumasok yan, nag-interiorize yung exterior mo, makakaproblema ka. Pwede kang ma-stroke, di ba? Pwede kang mategi. Moves chi blood, disseminates. Magwasha na pala tayo everyday, no? Siguro I'll look for
Okay.
one that's very easy. Like, when you're not doing anything, when you're reading a book, maybe guasha.
Yes.
This is interesting. And by the way, I think familiar yung boses ng nagla-lecture ng guasha, no? And I'm sure, I hope you're enjoying listening to it. Now let's go to oils for appropriate for guasha. I asked
Uh,
Dora Palangka about ano, meron kasing
mm.
ginamit na oil. Just bigla ba naman tinapon yung oil? Ano klaseng oil to? You use coconut oil. You know, alaala ko talaga as in. Hindi na ko alam, no? So ngayon alam na natin. Okay, tell us the oils.
But you can't use. You can't use coconut oil sa face kasi some
Yeah,
will
sa
get
likod lang, sa
fungal
likod
and
lang. Oo.
fungal acne. Oo.
Mm.
Nakaka-cause siya. Anyways, it's neutral coconut oil, mildly warming. White flower oil penetrates obstructions and disperses blood and fluids.
Mm.
This UI oil, warming and invigorating. Red flower oil, mild blood moving properties, and safflower oil.
Mm. Okay. Mabaho din coconut oil pag ilagay mo sa mukha. Di ba?
May coconut. I use MCT oil.
Pwede castor oil, Doc.
Hindi ko alam.
Mm.
Ako tanungin niya.
Pwede naman siguro.
Parang, di ba, parang hindi naman
Pero kasi,
ginagamit
yung castor oil kasi masyadong thick.
stick. Oo.
Stick.
Oo, hindi siya,
Baka mamaya hindi na
masyado siyang
matanggal yung
stick.
guasya mo.
Hindi lang siya ganun. Makapal siya, tsaka ma-feel mo nakadikit yung oil sa skin.
Siguro maganda VCO, no? Then sa mukha,
VCO, MCT oil. MCT.
NCT oil. Is that a brand?
MCT, no. It's a form of coconut oil siya. Pero wala na yung fatty. Wala na yung
Oh, okay. I'll look for that.
MCT.
Okay.
Medium chain triglycerides yung niya.
Medium
MCT.
chain. Yan pala yung MCT.
Medium chain triglycerides.
Okay, great. Thank you. So maghanap na kayo nito. If you want it warming and
You
invigorating,
can also drink it, pero I don't know.
drink it.
Pero pwede naman.
Okay. Okay. Now, ginwasya mo yung pasyente, tapos bright red yung siya. What does it mean?
It means it's acute and more recent injury.
Yes. Dark purple siya.
Older or dead blood from chronic condition.
Okay, so that means you have a Diyos ko, no? Dark purple. Di ba ganda, di ba? Yeah. Light pink or no siya at all.
No significant obstruction.
So, negative. Which gua sha tools are recommended versus not recommended?
Recommended is ceramic spoons, jar lids. Not recommended are coins, jade tools.
Ay, hindi pala pwede jade tools.
Jade,
Mm-mm. Okay.
Jade.
Ceramic spoon. Spoon na lang. Makeshift jar lids. Pangit naman kung coin yung gagamitin. Wala kang tatamaan na iba. Contraindications ng gua sha.
Cancer, areas of broken skin or near infections, burns or sunburned skin, unhealed fractures, clotting disorders near or over varicose veins, history of deep vein thrombosis or blood clots near medical devices.
Just like the pacemaker, no? So, pwede pa lang mag-gua sha, wag lang malapit. Okay. Cautions to observe when we do gua sha. Like,
Blood thinners or patients who bruise easily, history of keloid scarring, overburn scars, weak constitution, repeated treatments in the same area. If improvements aren't lasting after a few treatments, this is not the correct approach.
okay, that means budol, no? I think everybody knows what keloids are, no? Keloid scarring. So, we will not do gua sha. I have a friend who has a very, big keloids of chest.
I have a friend din, pero siya may, as in malaki siya talaga. From the shoulder to the back.
Para siyang sci-fi movie.
Parang ganun.
Parang bago lang siya na nasunog.
Nasunog.
Yeah. Of course, you don't gua sha that area, no?
Mhm.
Saka yung ano, masyadong mahina na, yung mukhang matitegi na, no? Anytime. Gua sha is similar to the sanjiao in what ways? Sanjiao, for everyone's info, is triple burner. It is also known as triple warmer, triple extinguisher. Ayun.
It's the superficial part of the subcutaneous fascia, the culi is
Hmm.
considered the pores through which pathogens can enter and be expelled through sweat. This is where Wei Qi circulates. The culi is the outward-most expression of the sanjiao. The sanjiao can be thought of as a membrane that encloses the entire body and each internal organ individually. The structure of the sanjiao and the Wei Qi allow the sanjiao to protect the body from transmit of pathogens to the organs.
Wow. So, it can connect the entire body and the surface of the skin to the organs as long as you do it properly. And if you have pathogens, they are walled off para hindi na kumalat, no? Okay, let's talk about the Sanjiao. Are you familiar with Sanjiao, Sir Joe Bell? San is three, kaya triple Jiao. Okay,
Triple burn.
we have the upper, the middle, and the lower. So we compare the upper Jiao to a mist because it disperses the body fluids in the upper body. Okay, falling under the so it's basically the TCM lung function uh, of dispersing. So it's more about dispersing. So when external pathogens like wind heat will invade the sunjiao, meron kang sore throat, pain in the ear, and a yellow tongue coating. Okay? Middle jiao is compared to a maceration chamber because it ripens and rots the food. So middle jiao is actually referring to the TCM stomach function of ripening and rotting the food. When the middle jiao cannot digest food, so there is food retention in the stomach. So what happens then? Magkakaroon ka ng belching, nausea, fullness in the stomach region, and this is bad, no? Bad breath. So yung mga nang may bad breath, kay ano-ano na deodorant ginagamit, you might want to look at this, no? Baka kailangan mo lang magwasha talaga. And in fact, I think we just had a guasha lecture on bad breath or halitosis, no?
Mhm.
So, and also yellow tongue coating. Okay, the lower jaw is compared to a draining ditch because it transforms, separates, and excretes fluids. So this is basically the TCM, kidneys, bladder, and intestines. Kung naalala mo yung sa tongue, sa posterior third ng tongue, the root of the tongue. When the lower jaw cannot transform, separate, and excrete fluids, magkakaroon ng damp heat. So there will be dark, turbid urination. Take note, hindi lang siya dark, turbid pa.
Mhm.
Smelly diarrhea. So that means yung stools natin dapat hindi smelly. And the yellow greasy tongue coating. Okay?
Mhm.
So here is, so basically we will be talking about damp heat. No? Damp heat in the upper jaw. This is what happens. So, ubo ka ng ubo. Tapos mabilis yung pulse and marami kang damp heat in the middle jaw. Mm. Mabigat yung feeling mo sa tiyan. You'll be nauseated, no? And don't damp it in the lower jaw. Mabaho yung stool mo. So here, if
Mhm.
you go check this diagram, the upper burner actually dyan yung heart and lungs. And the interstitial fluids to the blood and epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin. Kaya mabilis na natin malaman kung ano yung situation ng heart and lungs mo. Okay? So the middle burner naman, this is the stomach, spleen, and pancreas. So interstitial fluids. So the middle burner takes care of the ano to, flow of the distribution of the interstitial fluids to the dermis. Ano ba yung interstitial? Okay? Sige, Google nyo. Lower burner. Okay. Interstitial, yung mga nasa, para pong ano, yung drainage na, yung between cells, between tissues, no? Between tissues. Okay. Can you imagine kung tuyo yan? So, yun. So, lower burner naman, we have the small and large intestines, the liver, the kidneys, the gallbladder, and the bladder. So, although sa tongue, nakikita natin yung liver, gallbladder sa middle, no? So, they actually belong to the lower burner. So, dito, the lower burner sends the interstitial fluids to the bones and muscles. So, palalim ng palalim. So, clear na po, Ma'am Elvira?
Doc.
Okay.
Nakita ko ito kahapon sa YouTube.
Oh, yeah, very good. Talagang nanonood ng YouTube. Share niyo yung
Yes.
YouTube. Thank you po. What levels does the gua sha work on, Ma'am Trix?
In the Shaoyang and Taiyang level with the Wei Qi.
Yeah. Kasi when you do gua sha, we're actually trying to drive away the pathogens, diba? Minsan kasi the treatment is inefficient, hindi siya kompleto or incomplete. So ang chances are nag-i-stay sila sa Shaoyang. Ano ba yung Shaoyang? We have the gallbladder and the Sanjiao. Remember?
Taiyang.
Shao is lesser yang.
Lesser.
Lesser yang. Taiyang is greater.
Greater. Greater.
Puro yang. Kaya para mas lumabas yung mga ano, yung mga sha, no? Doon kasi sila kumukubli, doon sila nagtatago, no? So, if you remember, dito pa lang sa Taiyang, dapat nilalabas mo na. Nagagwasya ka na. Remember, Taiyang, bladder, small intestine. Okay. What does your patient need to know about gua sha? This is very important because baka may maramdaman siya tapos hindi mo sinabi. Okay?
Before performing gua sha, make sure you explain what ghost does, what it is used for, and how it can benefit the patient. Make sure to disclose that it can look like abuse and that your patient needs to follow some guidelines before and after treatment. It is also important to explain that the gua sha may make you feel worse before you feel better, but it does benefit overall.
Yes. They should expect to be feeling drained for 1 to 2 days. At saka it will leave a bruise. And the bruise should be away within 24 to 30, 36 to 72 hours na lang para ma-sure. Okay. Don't gua sha on what areas?
Um, Pregnant women.
Yes.
Hindi.
Andito na.
Some with blood disorders or anemia, someone taking blood thinners, someone with communicable disease, someone with phlebitis or thrombosis, recent injury or surgery, moles, warts, boils, carbuncles, abrasions, ulcers, skin tags, hives, lesions, blackheads and blemishes, varicose veins, sunburnt area, any open wounds, rashes, or inflamed skin, swollen or purple veins.
Okay, yung pasyente ni Madam M na may ano, kulang ng clotting factors. Di pwede yun. Bleeding disorder, no? Yung mga royal family or blood thinners. like clopidogrel, you have to really ask them, or you ask about their medications. If the patients are weak, so pag, parang pinilit lang, wag mo nang i-gouache siya. Okay? Pag may mga bruise na siya, kasi baka mamaya, bakit dumami yung bruise? So you wouldn't know. It includes also cupping, no? So don't gua siya on those areas na nag-cupping na. No? Very soft skin. So if you notice, compare nyo po yung inyong skin sa, ano ba tawag dito? Sa to sa ano na, yung nasaan yung lung, yung pericardium, pati yung heart channel. Ano napansin nyo sa skin compared to the young channel sa posterior? Iba yung skin niya, di ba? So
Yeah.
that means you should never gua siya on those areas. Okay? Um, you don't gua siya on the yin channels. Okay, let's ask Sir Jobel. Sir Jobel, are you still there?
Yes daw, so that
Yeah. Ano-ano po yung yin channels na hindi mo pwedeng igwa siya? Ano-ano, ay, ganito na lang. Ano-ano yung mga yin channels?
yin channel,
Hmm.
lead for lungs, heart, spleen, kidney. Yin channel,
Pati pericardium.
pericardium.
So do not gua siya daw on the very soft skin, particularly the yin channels. Common sense, dapat hindi soft. Yung masyadong soft, tingnan nyo, iba yung skin nyo dyan sa may pericardium. So, kahit saan.
Parang
So,
mas manipis siya.
manipis siya. So you should not gua siya daw there.
Manipis.
Of course, na yung may pimple, tapos biglang dumami.
Kakalat din ba?
You do the surrounding, ano tawag ito? Surrounding the dragon technique. And of course, you need to remove the dampness. You do lung 5, you can do spleen 9, bladder 17. Rashes, no? At saka pag yung joints mo, swollen and hot. Okay. Na-feel mo, ay, mainit. So, pangit mo naman i-gouache yun doon. At saka yung may cuts, no? Yeah, CUTS. Next, we're almost done. Okay. How do you, where do you start doing gua sha? Saang area?
The smooth edges. Skin is always scraped in the same direction until the skin is red and purple and has purple marks appear. Gua sha is applied on back, neck, shoulders, buttocks, and limbs of body.
Okay. You start the gua sha in the middle, and then you work out. And then top to bottom. When do you stop gua sha? Because kailan ka mag-give up?
When you experience pain or excessive redness that lasts longer than a few minutes.
Pag hindi na nag-change yung color. At saka nag-darken na. Diba? Naging, okay. Next. What is the meaning of this? If the bruise lasts longer than a few days, then, let's say, 1 week na may bruise pa. Paano yan?
Consult a doctor.
Ano? Hindi. Kaya nga, importante ang diagnosis. Possibility that she may be very deficient,
Problem.
the blood or the yang. Okay? So careful lang. So don't do this. Yung mga masyadong deficient sa chi, blood, or yang. What are the 3 biggest risk factors for stroke? So in order.
Excessive alcohol consumption,
Hmm,
illegal drugs, and old age.
okay. Number 1 is high blood pressure. Okay? High blood pressure. Tapos yung may clotting tendencies. Kasi bakit? Hindi naglalakad. Puro lang nakasakay. Puro elevator, no? Oo. And sleepidemia. So, kahit anong gawin, abnormal pa rin yung kanyang mga blood fats, no? Okay, so yun. Number 1, high blood pressure. So, we will take a break for 2 weeks. I think everybody knows that. And when we come back, anyway, ipopost ko lang po doon sa ating group chat. Sa tingin nyo, anong magandang topic para hindi ma-stroke? Okay, we'll probably do high blood pressure or hypertension. Okay? Because medyo na ano to, nainggit ako doon kay Madam M, biglang bumaba yung blood pressure ng pasyente. From taas, di ba? So, we need to really know how to, parang hindi tayo ma-stroke, di ba? So, risk factor yan eh. Tingnan mo, number 1, high BP. Tapos clotting tendencies because lalo na pag may mga surgery na ginawa sa'yo, meron ka pang, ano, di ba? Ang dami mo ng trauma in the past.
Yes.
Masyado ka emotion. And then this
Yeah.
sleep.
May
Hindi ka na kumain.
stroke na, Doc.
Ano po?
2 years old, Doc. May stroke na. Nililibre ko lang siya doon sa ano. Grabe, 22 years old pa lang, babae.
Na-stroke? 2 years old?
22 years
Ano
old.
naman hindi stroke? 22. Kala ko 2 years old.
Parang 2 years old.
Nagulat ako.
Tapos
Okay.
yung 32 years old din, Doc, nag-Bell's
Oh.
palsy na. 6 years na yung
Oh.
ano niya. Bell's na.
So we will have hypertension sa 23 April. So bakasyon tayo for 2 weeks. Yay. Oo, kasi, di ba para rest naman yung ating mga utak then ready naman for ano, okay? So yun. Sige, Madam Elvira. Then after hypertension, we'll probably have 2 sessions. Gusto ko kasi gawing thorough talaga, no? Katulad niyan. Kasi I don't think na if you just discuss this for 1 session, makukuha mo lahat. Bahala na ang dami-daming questions, basta paulit-ulit and talagang mag-aano sa ulo natin, no? So that's Wednesday, April 23. And then, sabi ni Ma'am, gusto niya ng metabolic syndrome. Yes. That will come.
Random topic.
Yeah. That's better than discussing diabetes right away. So, importante is, ano ba? Are you pre-diabetic already? Diba? Next, what is the difference between primary and secondary stroke prevention?
Primary stroke prevention focuses on reducing the risk of a first stroke in individuals with no prior history of stroke using measures like medication, lifestyle changes, managing risk factors. Secondary stroke prevention aims to prevent further strokes in individuals who have already experienced a
Yes.
stroke or transient ischemic attack
Okay.
involving
So,
medication.
yeah, sorry. Importante yung primary prevention. O sige, Madam Elvira, pag yung pasyente mo hindi pa na-stroke, i-enroll mo ba sa ating stroke prevention program?
Oo, mas maganda yun, Doc.
Anong klaseng prevention po yon? Primary or secondary?
Primary.
Oh, wow. O, iba, ang galing. Next, Madam Trix, what are the general drug strategies for stroke prevention? You just have to know these things, no? Anyway, hindi mo naman kayo nagpe-prescribe. Para naman, for your information, FYI.
Antiplatelet agents, antihypertensive agents, antidyslipidemic points, antidysrhythmics, diabetic, nicotine replacement.
Okay. So yung
Diabetes.
mga smokers, no? Mm. What are the usual antiplatelet options for stroke prevention?
Aspirin is best, most cost effective. Cyclopidine, risk of PTP, clopidogrel, dipyridamole,
Dipyridamole
dipyridamole,
plus aspirin.
plus aspirin, which
Expensive.
is expensive, and warfarin.
Okay, depende na sa doctor mo yan, no? So you need to collab with your doctor, and your doctor will definitely appreciate it. What are the BP goals in healthy populations? Take note, healthy. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa na, hindi niya alam pa. O baka siya, di ba? So, what is the goal? For those above 60 and those below 60. Bakit sa 60 ang ano, no? Demarcate.
Above 60 is 150 over 90, and below is 140 over 90.
Yes. And yung mga diabetic, DM is diabetes mellitus, CKD is chronic kidney disease, no? Yung matataas yung creatinine, BUN, tapos CVD, cardiovascular disease, cerebrovascular disease.
Cerebral. That's true.
Parang cardiovascular yan. Cerebro to. Cerebro. Should follow this guideline as well. So pag above 60, you have to aim for below 150 over 90. So mga 149. O 140, 145. Pag above 60 pala, below 150 over 90. Pag below 60, below 140 over 90.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say you have a patient. Okay, di ba pag naka-recover, naka-survive yung patient, no? Let's say okay na di-discharge sa hospital. Tapos, ang tawag doon, mga sequelae na. So, how do you treat the wind stroke in the channels or the sequelae treatment? Kasi di ba, pareho na rin yan sa yung nasa channels pa lang. Ibig sabihin, hindi to na lose of consciousness. However, pag yung sequelae, nag-lose na siya ng consciousness, pero nagka-recover na. Pero makakaroon ng mga sequelae, neurologic sequelae. So what are you going to do? What are the points that you have to focus on?
You have to nourish the yin, sedate the yang, extinguish wind, and use the points UB18, UB23, kidney 3, gallbladder 20, liver 3, and LI4.
Yeah, you can also do 20,
20,
do 16.
UB7.
No, they all affect the brain. And this can eliminate the wind, especially do 20 and do 16, and remove obstructions. Use even technique on the healthy side first, then the affected side. So unahin mo yung healthy side, even, that means you twirl the needle, clock and counter, diba? And then the affected side. So kasi ang goal natin dito is hindi pumunta sa healthy side yung problema. So inano mo na, firewall mo na. What about wind stroke in the channels for the arms? What are the points?
LI15, LI11, Sanjiao 5, and LI4.
Easy, no?
4 lang.
Excuse me. Easy. So you can also do this on the ear. It's more powerful. Iba talaga yung feeling niya. Sanjiao 5, LI4. So these are actually pang-alis. Yung LI11 pang ano ng heat, internal heat. What about sa legs naman?
We can use gallbladder 30, gallbladder 34, stomach 41, stomach 36, spleen 6, and liver 3.
Yes. Good. Okay. What about wind stroke in channels with wind and yang ascending? With wind and yang ascending pala. Meron ng wind. So, ibig sabihin meron ng konting ngumiwi.
Bladder 18, bladder 23, kidney 3, gallbladder 20, liver 3, and LI 4.
Okay. You can also add the spleen 6, of course. So you
Yes.
drain or sedate the gallbladder 20 kasi that's wind No, remember pag yung liver yang rising, kaya nga pag yung pasyente mo nagkaroon na ng nagalit ba, no? I-ano mo na yung wind, i-anticipate mo na yung wind. So do gallbladder 20 is so effective. Okay? And also liver 3, drain the wind, pacify the liver, supplement the kidney 3 and spleen 6. That means gagawin mo siyang yin. Next, dilated ang mouth. This one, nako, lalo na pag nagpa-oculift to.
Stomach 4, stomach 6, LI 4, stomach
Yes.
44.
Okay. This one is very important. Prevention of stroke.
We can with change of lifestyle, diet, and moxa.
Okay. Kung meron kang 3 to 5 achy, heavy B obstruction on the skin, 2 months before. So, hindi ko ito maintindihan. But anyway, you do moxa. The most important here is you do moxa on stomach 36 and GB 39. And then you decoct the scallion, peppermint. I know, you should try peppermint tea. Peach.
I love
tea.
peppermint tea.
Sarap ng peppermint, no? Okay, basta moxa mo, yung
For
stomach.
digestion pa.
Yeah. Perhaps every other day or twice a week, or as often as you can. Diba? And 3 or 5 achy, heavy B obstruction on the skin. So 3 or 5 points. Okay. So wag nang mag-antay kasi you might regret it. Okay, so let's end the session with this question. Stroke in TCM is a disorder of what vital substances?
Chi and blood.
Okay, very good. So very basic. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. Maraming salamat po.